See, I'm just stealing from the guy who steals from YouTube, so it's just super filtered down. But Nick, you hit it on the head when the production company Netflix came up. When I heard about this, my first thought was, nope, no thanks. I'm not interested. I don't want that. I am not about this.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Anime Summit Podcast. It's your favorite host with the most, Sam the Bomb. And of course with me every week is Danny.
Hello. I want to be the king of the pirates.
Nick.
Gum Gum Fisto!
And a special guest from the Plummet King.
A scar on the back is a swordsman's shame.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I had the live action, did they?
They did.
I had the best one.
They did?
You did say that, yeah.
I did not hear that. All right.
That's because you didn't watch it.
This is where Nick admits he's like, I didn't watch a single episode, and you guys caught
I just watched some YouTubers. I watched some YouTubers talk about it. They gave me my thoughts. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Here we go.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
Spoiler alert, talking about the One Piece live action Netflix show. Yeah, dude. Look, I had, King is the other host in the Summon Network who is caught up on One Piece, and had to have him on. We realize a lot of people have a lot of opinions on this kind of thing. Just wanted to keep it in the Summon Network, all right? Just in the, just because I didn't want to. It was last minute. Okay, we wanted to get this review out really quick. I realized a lot of people are going to have a lot of opinions. I mean, I don't know.
They would have been mad if we didn't do it.
Yeah, people. Yeah, I just wanted to get it out there. Let's just fucking do it, okay? But no, lots to talk about. Okay, and I want to preface talking about how live actions go, because there's a lot of internet talk going around right now, going, oh my god, One Piece is the first live action that did it right. And it's like, well, let's hold your ass for a minute, okay? Calm down. But so I want to preface the whole convo with some live action anime talk before we get into it. But anyways, I'm glad King's here. King kind of was like a late One Piece fan like me, and so when he started reading it, I was hella excited. So hell yeah, now we're both caught up, and we love the One Piece. We have our own Jolly Roger. We're looking for the One Piece as well. It's exciting. So let's just fucking do it. King, I'm glad you're here.
The One Piece is real.
It is real.
That's all I know about it. And also Chopper crying. And is it Sanji's big giant hog? You know what I mean?
Well,
those figures.
Wait. Which
this is all I know
One
about
Piece
One Piece.
did you watch?
That's all I know.
Yeah, wait.
No.
I'm trying to think.
People were posting. Was it Sanji or the other guy, the sword guy? Probably the sword guy. All right.
I think Nick, you watched
Zoro.
the wrong live action One
Yeah,
Piece.
I think you
just
watched something
realized.
else.
No. I didn't watch that. I'm saying people in the Discord were posting figures with a giant dong.
Yeah, you were watching.
And it was either Zoro or Sanji. I think it might have been Zoro.
I think you might have been on one of those XXX.
What the heck are you talking about?
One Big
Go to our
Piece.
Discord,
You can
look it
find
up.
that on
All right.
Pornhub.
Yeah,
That's
the One Piece. Right?
Everyone gaslight Nick. Because I know exactly.
I
what
saw
he's
a
talking about.
Chopper crying meme at a local game store the other week.
God.
Will you give
How about
up?
that, Danny?
Will you
Fucking
stop with
memes.
this crying meme, dude? God, dude, holy crap!
Chopper. Ooh, don't get me
Chopper.
started.
He's the
I
best
can't wait
boy.
till they show him in the live action.
Anyways, let's just jump into it before Nick ruins everything. So, fucking links.animesummit.net. That's where you can go listen where to party and where to farty. If you're a farty a little bit, you had too much beans. Also, let me tell you about this. And then, of course, let me tell you something exciting. The Shopify is now ready to go. And it's only going to be open to patrons first, okay? By the time you listen to this, it's probably open for the patrons right now. But it'll be open for the patrons first, so if you're a patron, you get early access So that's what's up. And then it'll be open to everyone. And of course, I'll let you know that's going to be in a week or two. It's exciting. It's exciting. So it's ready to go. We're going. It's going now. I'll tell you when it's fully live, and it's going to be exciting. For real this time. No, for real it's happening. Like, for real. It's already open for the patrons right now, and then it'll be open to the rest of y'all. Psh, I don't even fucking know. Soon-ish. And you can buy Anime Summit shirts, and you're going to show us selfies. You're going to be like, look at my shirt. This shirt got me laid. It's going to be have a good time. Okay.
Is that one? That's one of the shirts that says Anime Summit. This shirt got me laid. So
oh my god, good idea. No, we'll steal that.
Whoa, you like Anime Summit?
Do me. That's awesome.
Yeah, do me.
And then
it's like 40-year-old virgin.
we'll get a his and her version of it. So like the arrow can point and be like, I did this cool stuff, Anime Summit dude.
Oh,
we'll work on the branding of it, but you guys get the idea behind it.
That's a start, King. That's a start.
Yeah.
Oh man. Dude, yeah, that's what's up. Also follow us on TikTok, okay? We haven't posted that much on it. But like I have some ideas that'll be cool, that'll be fun for TikTok. And just follow us on TikTok and give us some cool things. I'm like trying to follow cosplayers and stuff on there and other anime things, things of that nature. But yeah, follow us on TikTok, okay? And also, of course, when you go to links.animesummit.net, make sure you click on Anime Plummet so you can listen to
There we
King.
go.
Because we all like listening to King.
That's absolutely right. And Sam, I just want to remind everybody that it's still summertime here in 2023, and we've got the Summer SmackDown Girlfriend Edition that we're going to be wrapping up here soon. We've been tackling a whole bunch of different girlfriend-themed animes to build out a mega bracket of the Supreme Girlfriend SmackDown. We've just recently released one for Rent a Girlfriend that Danny guested on, and that was super fun to have her, and that's a great episode. Go check it out. We have a new one that'll be coming out, I think, in the next week or two here for Saikano, how to build a boring ass girlfriend. And hell yeah. And then we'll have all 16 of our girlfriends. We're gonna battle it out. We have a special guest joining us, but I'm not going to tell you who it is until we drop it, so because he might cancel on us. There's a good chance that he probably will.
Oh no.
It's me.
It's Nick.
Oh my god.
So once again, go check out links.animesummit.net, and you get access to Anime Plummet. And we have the Summit folks on all the time. We have tons of happy hour episodes with Danny and Sam and Nick and all that good fun stuff. So I'm excited to get into it, Sam.
Yeah, buddy. That's what's up. So without further ado, let's just jump in. Question of the week, Nick.
All right, this is from King. Oh wait, no, it's not.
Wait, just erase this guy's name and put my name anyways.
Wait. King, you should read it. Do the honors.
Oh, can I do? I've always wanted to do it.
Yeah, you do it.
Question of the week.
Since you're not asking, you're not asking one. You might as well recite it, right?
This is like
why
a big.
don't
You gotta be in there somehow.
Why don't you do some of the work around here for once? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This is what a big day for me. I am the question master, of course. Much better than Snowman. I think that's like most people would say. Most people would say that. Shout out
Snowman's
to our
not here to
good
defend
friend.
himself, so sorry.
Man.
Yeah, and also the question is not his this week, which makes this feel extra good too. You know, it's just sticking.
I already forgot his name.
So the question of the week. This comes from a friend of the show, Kai, aka Clear and Sweet. Did I say that right, Danny?
Yes.
Yes.
You
All right,
did.
good. Leave it all in. Kyle appreciated it. All right, the question is, gun to your head, only one character. Who would you say is your waifu and husbando? Let's start it off with Sam.
No, dude, that's so hard. It's such a hard question. Like I've gone back and forth between. I've narrowed it down a little bit in my mind, I guess, but for
There's a gun to your head, Sam.
Yeah, come on, Sam.
Remember?
There's a gun to your head. You can only pick one character.
Yeah, waifu or husbando. Pick one.
it'll be then it'll be Captain Misumaru, Hiriko Misumaru from Nadesco.
Let's
You're the only one who has that character, Sam. You don't have to fight anybody for it.
I know. I know I don't, but like, it was tough. It was between her and like 20 or 100 other characters. So, anyways,
All right.
I love it.
Close call.
Nick, what about you? Who is your favorite waifu
I had to
or
look them up.
husbando?
I had to choose between a few here, but at the end of the day,
AKA Google.
thank you, CBR. I'm choosing Asuna Yuki from Sword Art Online. You might be surprised, but you know what? You might have thought I was picking C2 or Holo. No, it's Asuna, dude.
oh crap! I want to change mine already.
She's a fighter. She's loyal. She's friendly and supportive. And she's smart. She's wicked smart.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Good head on his shoulders. And that brings us to Danny, waifu or husbando of all time. You can, and also everyone can't change their answer, so you're gonna. It'll be on your tombstone.
All time, dude. Asuna. I'm
Yeah.
going with it. Let's go.
Oh,
On
I got
the
lots of
tombstone.
material to work with, too, with Asuna, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, it's definitely a very tough one because I have so many, but we are gonna go with Kiyosoma from Fruba.
Yay! That's a good one too. I
Yeah,
love.
he's
Is
my
there a
boy.
reason? Is it he's your boy? Anything else? Any?
I mean,
standout
he's
qualities?
always been my husbando, like ever since the original, from from 2001. So, yeah, like it was a toss up between Kyo or Shishomaru because Shishomaru was definitely one of the first. So, but I have just a firm love for Fruits Basket. So, yeah.
So
we're gonna-
Shamaru can be the side piece. You
He
got your
could.
husbando, and then you got your side piece.
Yeah. Like Shishomaru, I mean, both of them are kind of like bad boys in a way, but like Kyo is like a wannabe bad boy. Like he wants to be bad, but like
He's
deep down, he's
soft in
just
the
like
inside.
a good boy.
He's a big
Whereas like
softie.
Shishomaru, he's just like your typical like bad influence, bad
He's
boy.
hard from the inside and out. If you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
One thing
Yeah,
I
yeah,
noticed
yeah.
about
He's
your
like-
picks, Danny, is
They're
they
all the
both
same.
seem no. They both seem like they would like shed on your couch, and I don't know.
Oh,
if I'm
yeah.
a fan of that.
I mean, that's fine. Like Kyo is a cat.
Danny has a lint
and
roller, it's fine.
Shishomaru is a dog, so it's fine.
Shishomaru, when Danny's cheating on Kyo on the weekends, that's when Shishomaru's with her.
Right, because like
when-
Shishomaru's the type of guy that like is like the really good like animal sex that you have, like your
Yeah.
phase, like when you're
Oh
dating
my.
and
He's,
stuff, and
he's
like
with me the rest of the week.
right, and like
putting it
Kyo
out.
is like your committed type of guy.
That's the first husbando that me and Danny fought over. Holds a
Shishomaru,
special-
yeah,
holds a special
yeah.
place in my heart. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
was like,
get
why don't you go-
Shishomaru like twice a week, and then the rest of the week Shishomaru is with Sam.
I was like, why don't you go be with Koga? And she was like, that's stupid. Koga sucks.
Nobody wants to be with
Koga
Koga.
does suck, okay? Like
mean-
Koga is fucking annoying. Let's be
Yeah.
real here.
Sweet. Well,
Koga
that's
sucks.
awesome. Why can
What about you?
I will
Kate,
take
what
us.
about you?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'll take us out of here. Easy. My lifelong waifu is Rias Gremory from the acclaimed seductive high school DxD.
Ooh.
And I think
Hell
it's pretty
yeah.
simple because I mean, come on. I rest my case.
She has huge tracts of land.
Well, and also remember, I always like I like it when people are rich. That's one of my favorite qualities
Yeah,
in people
yeah.
is when they're filthy rich.
First thing
And
you
I mean-
say, how much money do you have?
Yeah, so on my first date, I'm like, any first date, you should always ask, "Can I have some money, please?"
Can I have some money?
Yes. But yeah,
You got to ask it all fancy like.
exactly. I mean, yeah, she's what waifu bait was made of, and super fun show. Go check it out if you're. And this is the kind of stuff we'll cover on Plummet is trashy shows like High School DxD, which I think we're going to review probably sometime next year or something. So, another great question from me, King. Wow, what a great question.
Good job. Good job.
Psych, I'm just kidding. Thanks again, Kai, for an awesome question, and I'll turn it back over to Sam. Or no, wait, Danny for
Danny.
the special for more waifus and husbandos, right?
Yeah. So waifu and husbando of the week is going to be Nami, who is played by Emily Rudd, and husbando is Sanji, who is played by Taz Skylar.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go, Sanji.
Let's go, Sanji.
Can't go wrong with any of the characters here, really.
No, you really can't.
Well, Nami, you gotta pick Nami for sure, but like any of the dudes, it would've been fine.
Nami for sure, dude.
Sanji is the hottest one, though.
He is the hottest one.
That's my boy.
I'm
That's my
straight,
boy.
but like, come
Next
on,
to
like I'm
Buggy
straight.
the
You know, come on.
Clown.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Oh
Buggy
my
the Clown
God.
is
Literally, Buggy
yeah,
the
that's
Clown
the
is my hard second.
I turned on
he's
the
my
internet one
hard,
day.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just turn on the internet and Buggy's the hottest one of the
Literally,
bunch.
This better not
everyone
awaken
on
anything
Twitter
in me.
is
What is
talking
going
about
on?
Buggy the Clown and like
Yeah,
how
what is
literally
going
how
on?
hot the actor is. Like I can't. It's so hilarious to like just look at Twitter and just like how flooded
I'm dressing
it
up as a
is.
clown for Halloween. I'm doing it.
A lot of One
No.
Piece and a lot of Barbie Halloween costumes this year. I'm predicting it.
Yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
No, fuck y'all, man. He was hot in the manga, okay? Later in Ines Lobby, not Ines Lobby, but Impel Down, he like talks about his powers, his devil fruit powers, and how it works, and then you realize that he's literally one of the most OP characters in the whole entire fucking thing. Like it's, god damn it, dude, he's so strong.
Chop
Anyways,
fruit.
the chop fruit, dude. Let's just jump right into it, okay? Let's just waste no time, okay? One Piece, live action, Netflix, okay? Studio Kaji Productions, Tomorrow Studios, and with production aid from Shueisha, of course, the company that owns Jump, Shonen Jump, and their other subsidiary magazines. It's a different director each ep, and we'll make sure we kind of mention whose name. Some of them are in a couple eps, directed each couple eps. Based on the manga One Piece by Eichiro Oda, originating from the one shot called Romance Dawn, of course. Where to watch this? You can watch it on Netflix. That's what it fucking is, a Netflix show. Okay. The series follows the adventures of the Straw Hat Pirates as they explore the dangerous oceans, lands, and beyond in search of the One Piece, a fabled treasure that will make their captain Monkey D. Luffy king of the pirates. But the Marines are on their ship's tail, and they are not the only crew searching for the One Piece. Armed with skills and unbreakable friendship, the Straw Hats are ready for the journey and even more ready to fight for their dreams together. Yeah, I mean that's basically the premise of One Piece manga and anime. You know, that's pretty much it. So like, so I don't want to harp too much on this thing that I'm going to preface this with. I just need to say this rant because, and I'm glad Nick kind of audibled this week's episode in place of this review because it gives me a chance to say it right now because I think people don't know what they're talking about. I keep seeing a lot of comparisons online. So, okay, first of all, anime live action adaptations, okay? People are
They suck!
Yeah, the first thing that people are going to say is what Nick
Some
just
of them.
said, is that they're bad, right? They
There's a
suck.
couple that are good.
So I've seen people compare them online, like, oh, this one's is One Piece live action better, or is Rurouni Kenshin live action better? It's like, okay, let's stop right there. You can't make that comparison. Number one, because Japan does anime live action adaptations literally all the time. That's literally like they do them all the time. Number one, and number two, the Rurouni Kenshin ones are probably like the best ones they've ever done.
Yeah, I was looking on CBR, and that's what they were saying.
Yeah, we're talking purely here in this instance. We're talking purely about international and Hollywood ones. Okay.
Yeah, Western adaptations.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about. And so if we're gonna, and by that nature, I've seen a lot of people say that One Piece is the first one to do it right. I disagree. I think Alita was like one of the first ones to do it right.
First TV
Ooh,
show.
yeah,
No,
that's good.
Sam,
I will say
actually,
Alita
let's
definitely
Speed Racer.
an
Speed Racer.
Or Speed Racer, actually. Yeah, Speed Racer.
I can't
which
speak for Speed Racer.
We need to
'cause I
watch.
haven't
We need
seen
to
it
watch
yet.
that. I haven't seen that one either, but I assume it's great. Everyone says it's good.
It's literally probably, if not the greatest live-action anime adaptation of all time.
YouTube told me it was the best one, so that's mine.
It's really good. It's the Wachowskis.
There's
did it
John
perfectly.
Goodman in it too, doesn't it?
It does. He plays Pops Racer and Susan Sarandon. Susan Sarandon plays a mom racer, and then Trixie is played by Christina Ricci. Yeah,
I gotta go back and watch that.
it's so good. And it gives me chills every time. Anyways, so that being said, Speed Racer, Alita, these are two films that did it great before. Now, if we're talking purely about how Netflix does them, then yes, One Piece is the first, I think, good anime adaptation they've done. And of course, we also need to talk about this next thing really quick. I've seen people complain about how adaptations they change things or do this, do that, whatever the fuck. You have to make them more consumable. The things that are on anime are on a manga do not translate to the screen properly. If they didn't make, for example, my favorite example is Kick-Ass 2, right? Or Scott Pilgrim. If they tried to translate panel for panel what was in the comics onto the screen, Scott Pilgrim would have been 4 movies, 3, 5, 6 movies.
Oh,
If they tried to do Kick-Ass 2 the way it was in the comic onto the screen, it would have been a bad movie. Nobody would have watched it. It would have been. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for the medium. So plus there was a very explicit scene in Kick-Ass 2. If that was on the screen, it would not have gotten made. So
Yeah,
so,
the Kick-Ass movie 2 would have been banned.
It would have been banned. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
I want to see that movie. Damn.
Yeah. That being said,
honestly, I think the only way that it would have gotten away with it if it was animated, not live action.
Yeah, and that being said, it's just kind of let's get that out of the way, okay?
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's inevitable that me and King and probably Danny a little bit because James is watching it, so Danny's been watching it a little bit here and there, are probably going to make comparisons to the anime and manga. That's just naturally going to happen. Of course, we're not going to try we're not going to harp heavy on it it's not exactly like this, therefore it sucks. No, of course we're not going to do that. But little nods here and there and things here and there that's where it makes to the manga or anime. We're going to talk about that kind of thing. So, that being said,
you're going to give your top 10 manga changes. You got to list them. You got to make a tier list of all the changes.
I don't know, in the East Blue Saga, I don't know if there's a lot, okay? Because this was heavily let's just jump into the first thought section right now. And here's my first thought.
What is One Piece? What is it?
I already said it. I literally already said the synopsis.
Well, say it again. I wasn't listening.
No. Anyways, so first
Listen
thoughts.
to the playback later.
Yeah, first thoughts. Here's my first thought. For it being heavily streamlined and consumable and putting
8 episodes. It's only 8 episodes, 1 hour each.
Yeah, 8 episodes. Thank you, Nick. I forgot to say that. 8 episodes, 1 hour each. For them putting all of the East Blue Saga in this bitch in 8 hours is pretty good. That's crazy. So I mean that's the first 10 volumes, 11 volumes.
Yeah, it's something crazy the chapter count when you break it out. Sam, like you said, we're manga heads. I'm completely caught up to date week to week now. It took about a year. And for me, they hit all the powerful moments, which we can get into later. But the heavy hitter moments where you're like, "Oh, I love you, Sanji," or "I love you, Nami." All of these good parts, they absolutely capitalized on them. They knew where the hooks were for people getting into One Piece. Those are included, and I think that's great.
Yes, dude, it was so great. It was so great. And it's the first 60 some chapters. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there's or not 60, I think probably more, maybe. Or no.
Give or take.
90 or 100 something. Yeah. It's up there.
Close enough.
Yeah. So that being said, it's I think it's pretty good. And also there's that one big change in it not a really big change, but they did it earlier than the anime or manga does it, and I kind of liked that because it kind of added another layer of consumability to the story. But first thoughts from you guys. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm the only one here who has not read or watched One Piece at all. I'm coming in blind, except for the memes.
Yeah, no movies or not even an episode here or there. Just like
No movies, just memes.
Love it. And what did we think?
So I thought it was good. I thought this was like better than I gave it credit for. I'm like, oh, Netflix always fucks it up. They're gonna screw it up. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh damn, this is fucking good. So, yeah, like this is how they need to do anime adaptations. You got to bring in the original creator and just like let him tell you what to fucking do, pretty much. Because if you start just having too many cooks in the kitchen, you got all these shitty executives and producers trying to check up their check boxes and add in Western bullshit, then it becomes bad, like Cowboy Bebop. Like it's like, dude, they fucked that one up. And Death Note was so bad that it might be good, but yeah, those two were kind of silly. This is like the best is like Cowboy Bebop did everything wrong that One Piece did right, or like One Piece fixed what they did wrong with Cowboy Bebop. And I think that's because they had the creator give his input, and then also there were probably like bigger fans of it who were making it. I don't know. I haven't delved into the nitty gritty of it. Also, we got to mention, isn't this show part of like the Hollywood strikes? Isn't this part of that? You know how the Hollywood writers strike, actors strike. They're
yeah. Well, I assume they're all
involved.
A lot of these
in
folks are in the side.
Yeah, so a lot of them are in it. Or talking about it. You know, there's people online who say, oh, you shouldn't talk about struck material.
Sure.
You know, but like, fucking A, man. Like, these people worked on it, so we're going to talk about it.
Yeah,
like,
be ashamed to shelf it. It would be a lot of people worked hard, it seems like. So
you know, like,
it'd be
support
a
the
shame to shelf it.
creators, obviously. Like, they should get paid and everything, and they should get paid fairly. You know, take all the money from the fucking bazillionaires, you know? Fuck them. That's what I say.
Agree.
I hate you, Bob Iger. I hate you. All right. I have like a dartboard and just throw darts at. Anyway, so yeah, this is the funny thing about this is like I didn't realize how expensive it was to make. Apparently, it was 138 million for 8 episodes. That's like 17, 18 million an episode. That's pretty fucking expensive.
It's huge. Yeah,
That's
a
pricey.
good budget. That's a good.
I mean,
budget.
some of the CG was a little bit sus, but like I thought it was good. I thought it was overall really good. The sets were practical. The fight scenes were choreographed. It was great. So yeah, I really like the show. That's my first impression. What do you guys got?
Danny.
So even though James is watching One Piece and everything, I didn't really watch like the East Blue saga. So I mean, I did watch it. But I watched it years ago. So, and I actually do have like a 3-in-1 volume of One Piece. So I have read a little bit of it, but again, it was just like years ago, so I barely remember it. So, this was kind of like a fresh start for me to dive into the One Piece universe and everything. So, first impressions of it, it's a joyride, and it reminds me of like how when I first watched Pirates of the Caribbean for the first time. Like, it just has that kind of, you know, fun dynamic and everything. The character building for all the characters were pretty well written and everything like that. The actors, like all of the main cast, who played all of the characters that everyone loves and everything like that, I think they did a fantastic job. Inaki, I can't pronounce his last name. Yeah, Inaki, like I think he did a really good job portraying Luffy, just like how much Luffy is just this carefree character, and like, you know, he's just like, I want to be the king of the pirates, and like no one's gonna stop me. So like I feel like he really did an amazing job. Even the child actor who played young Luffy was just amazing.
Well,
Like all of them.
let's
were
dial
great.
it back a little bit. Child actors, they're okay.
So you felt their like dreams and stuff. So
Yeah.
they were all great. Yeah. So production wise, great and everything. I'm trying to think of like, I think while I did watch it, there was something that I was all like, this feels a little off. But I can't think of it. I think it was maybe like how I think they portrayed like them wanting like to achieve their dreams so quickly for me. I don't know. I think it was something along either that it was like more down the line when Sanji came into the picture, and then like what's his name? Mihawk came into the picture. No, like when Mihawk came in, and like I mean, from what James has told me about Mihawk, like I feel like he was just a plot device just to be there. I didn't feel like Mihawk needed to be there at that point.
Right.
So it was just kind of weird to like see him so quickly, and then, you know, and then that was it. Like then all of a sudden you see him at the end of the show. So yeah, I thought that was like pretty random. So, but overall, I did enjoy it. Like it's fun.
Nice one. Okay, King, what about your first thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just going to reiterate what everybody else has been saying, because I have no original thoughts when it comes to this. Nick
Hey, that's my style.
See, I'm just stealing from the guy who steals from YouTube, so it's just super, super filtered down. But Nick, you hit it on the head when the production company Netflix came up. When I heard about this, my first thought was, nope, no thanks. I'm not interested. I don't want that. I am not about this. And then, you know, as a manga reader, as someone who I love this story. We read this in the Anime Summit Manga Club every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come check it out in the Discord.
We
And
don't just only read One Piece, by the way. Let's clarify that.
We only read the first 3 volumes, but from there, I mean, I was just like, okay, there's something here. Let me dive back into it. And over the last year, I got to read all of it. It's been one of the best fantasy journeys I've had in a long time, as someone who really loves and appreciates fantasy. And, you know, something I wanted to touch again that Sam had mentioned was this idea that if you've read the manga, if you've seen the anime, you're going to do comparisons in your head. And as I started to watch the live action, because I was like, I'm not crazy that Netflix is doing this, but I want to give it a shot. I want to go in and see what this is about. I started doing the thing where I'm like, no, that doesn't happen like that. No, they didn't say that. Who the fuck is this? They're getting too much screen. And
James did that. Like, he didn't watch it with me. Like, I was watching it on my computer and he was behind me, and like he would just like turn to like watch it for a little bit, and there was like a couple of things that was all like, wait, did they just announce that so early? Like, that doesn't happen until like XYZ and stuff. And like James made a comment about like the way how like the dialogue that Shanks says to the mountain bandit, like he's all like, man, it was a hell of a lot cooler on how he did that like in the anime and blah,
right.
blah, blah. So
yeah, so anybody can be guilty of this, but I caught myself very quickly in the first, I'd say, half hour of the show doing this. And I remember pausing it and being like, okay, this isn't going to be fun if you keep doing this. So I kind of made an internal decision of just let this be its own thing. Don't try to remember what's going on in the manga. Don't try to nitpick things. Just zone in, be mindful of what you're watching, and let that be what you consume. Yeah. And I'm telling you, if you're an anime and manga lover like Sam and I are, this is the way to go for this show, because it's going to be different than what you're used to. And this is an important story for a lot of people. But you know what it is? It's just a new adventure for you to go check out one of your favorite stories ever, seen through a different lens. And I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy it a lot more. And, you know, that's my initial thoughts. Just watching the first hour or so of this show, wasn't excited, didn't know what to expect. And let me say this, I'm giving it praise, and I got to watch it with my wife, and she's giving it praise, a lot of praise, and this is her first step into the One Piece world. But I certainly do have some critiques coming up, and a lot of it has to do with wardrobe and bad wigs, but we can get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, like, one more final thought that I had just before we get into some like production stuff and production woes and all that. In terms of like what King was saying, like obviously we're like he had to like stop himself, you know, whatever. I kind of went into it knowing it was going to be different, just because like I have obviously, like, when something gets adapted into a live action or into an anime or to whatever, vice versa, this or that, you know, I always go into it. I've done this rodeo plenty of times where I feel like I know to go into it knowing it's going to be different or something, right? So like with Alita being one of my favorite mangas ever, like I went into the movie knowing this is going to be different. This is not going to be, they're probably going to go up to here. You know, I can see that there's this scene in it, whatever. In terms of like adaptability, like it was obviously streamlined, but not so much to the point where it was like a completely different thing. It was, there's so many things in Alita. Alita's so close to the manga. And obviously they cut and mushed some parts together. Like the murder ball part doesn't actually happen till after all the stuff with Hugo and stuff happens, but they wanted to work it in there, right? Because it's a really cool thing, and it's like, we got to put this on screen, you know. And they worked it in there just fine. It was fine. So in terms of like how One Piece was adapted, it was like Alita, where they did it from the source material as close as possibly could, while still streamlining some things, and there is like one big noticeable change that I think still worked. It wasn't like Cowboy Bebop at all, where it was just a completely different thing. Cowboy Bebop was completely different. There were some things that they adapted from the anime that was like in it, you know, but it was completely different. It wasn't terrible. It was not.
I said it before. I said if they wouldn't have slapped the Cowboy Bebop title on it, it would be a good show.
Well, it'd still be mediocre.
Yeah.
It'd be like a 5 out of 10. But once you put the title on there, it's like
it'd
a
be
3.
fine.
I disagree.
This is a controversial opinion. This is another show I watched with my wife, who isn't the biggest anime fan, but I'm getting her more into it. She really enjoyed it, and when you sit next to somebody that enjoys something, it kind of rubs off on you, and you're like, yeah, this isn't so bad. And then I heard all the critiques, and I'm like, yeah, that is a good point. It was kind of shitty.
I personally enjoyed it. I, still think it's definitely not as good as. Of course, I don't think it's as good as anime at all. It was way different. I kind of wish they would have marketed it as like some other kind of, I don't know. It would have been cool if they did like side stories instead or something, and not tried to like. You know what I mean? Like, because they tried to adapt parts of the anime into it, but then completely changed it. So, like, Mad Puro was just, like, this dude that Vicious hired, which is, like,
oh, you're talking about Bebop. I thought you were talking about One Piece.
Bebop.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I was still talking about Bebop, yeah, for a second. But actually, you know what? No, you're right, Nick. I don't want to harp on that too much. We did an episode on it. with
There we
Koka,
go.
so you should just go listen to that.
Whatever number score I gave it that episode, lower it by 1. All right, let's just.
Yeah, yeah, lowered by 1. But anyways,
like
what
that.
what I wanted to say was, in terms of adaptability, how they adapted One Piece is it's close to the source material, just like Alita was, just streamlined. So like they stuck to the story and then just like cut things, mush things together to make it more consumable and whatever. That being said, when you do streamline things like that for adaptation's sake, if it's not done well, you could fuck it up completely. In this case, it wasn't done like 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 amazing. It was done pretty good, but it did, I think some of the One Piece things that make One Piece great suffered because of it a little bit. But I think that might have been inevitable just because One Piece is so large. They explain so much, and there's so much to consume when you're reading it that was gonna happen. So that being said, I want to dive into some of this stuff. I want to mention really quick, if you've seen the show, the Netflix show, if you watch this, I would highly recommend going on YouTube and going on Netflix's YouTube channel and watching all of the cool things that the cast got to do and all the games they got to play with each other and do all that stuff. These people, like, some of them were anime fans, some of them weren't. Iñaki was, like, the Iñaki Godoy, he's a big One Piece fan, and
Yeah, he met Luffy's voice actor. He was so stoked.
So he got to meet. Let me just tell you this.
That's so cute.
You guys have to watch these videos because I cried every time I watched them. He first got. They first released a video where he met Luffy's voice actor. Okay, and then, which is played by shit. Sorry, hold on. Let me find her name. Mayumi Tanaka.
Luffy. Oh, the live action one or the other one?
The anime and the Japanese dub and the live action. Luffy's played by Mayumi Tanaka.
So the actor who played Luffy in the Netflix live action met the Japanese voice actor who plays Luffy in the anime.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you understand that, Nick?
I got it now.
You're confused. I was
Okay.
like, I got
You got to make these things clear. You got to specify.
I thought I said it pretty clear, but it's fine. They released
Nobody is ever clear enough. I'm the only one who's clear.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Of
going
course,
clear
Nick.
right now.
We're wrong, and you're
I'm going
always
clear
right.
right now.
That's
You got to
just
make
how it
things
is.
Nick proof.
So they released a video where he got to meet her. Then they released a video where he went to the Shueisha offices, and they showed him around the offices, and he was talking to people. He met like the head editor, and the head editor person was like, "You are Luffy" or whatever, and he like started crying, and like it was like, oh man, like dude. And they showed him the original like because Eiichiro Oda still draws the manga analog and does he does digital touch-ups, but he still does the manga analog, which like a lot of manga still do, although they're far and far fewer. They're the minority now. A lot of more mangakas do digital, but they showed him the original like watercolor painted like colored pages from the first chapter.
Wow.
And he got to like hold them in his hand, and then he met Eiichiro Oda in his like house. They went to his fucking house.
Oh wow.
And him and Iñaki sat at his desk and just talked. And he was like so you got a lot of like say like in how we did everything and how we portrayed things, and you watched all the audition tapes. And Oda was like, yeah, and the reason I thought you were Luffy was because I had at first I thought, oh, maybe not. And then I watched your audition tape again. You sent another tape, and you did something, and it made me laugh. And I was like, that's Luffy. And Iñaki was like, he got watery-eyed, and he was like, I made you laugh? And he was like, yeah. Like, I was like, that's hilarious. That's Luffy. And then Iñaki, like, drew a picture of Luffy for Oda and gave it to him with a letter on the back, and it was like, oh, my God, bro. Like...
Sell it on eBay.
Too cute.
And I just gotta
Sell it on eBay, dude.
And I just gotta say something about this too. Like, when you have something that is by the fans, for the fans, by the fans, that kind of thing, you know, that's what makes it the best, right? Because they know, right? It's almost kind of like Cobra Kai, which is another Netflix show. It started as a YouTube Red show, now it's a Netflix show. The people who write that show are such fans of the Karate Kid universe and what's out there that they knew how to write a sequel to it. So, like, these people that write the show are diehard Karate Kid fans, just like I am. They knew exactly what I wanted. And they gave me exactly that. And, like, when you have shows like that, it just works. And whether people think One Piece live action is good or bad, I think it worked, because these were the people who are portraying the characters and some of the writers, and then Oda signing off on each episode himself. That's how you fucking know, right? That's like, it has to be, it can't be bad, in my opinion. And in my opinion, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't.
I mean, if the creator himself, like, approved majority of the final cuts, like, if he
That's
liked
great.
it, you know, like, that's saying something.
Well, and also they
100%.
reshot some stuff because he was like, I don't like that. Yeah. So, like,
yeah.
and I want to say this too, just because Nick brought it up earlier, about the strike and stuff. So, I mean, this show was announced in 2017 by Hiroyuki Nakano, who is I think this was the same editor that Iñaki met.
Yeah, he's the editor-in-chief of Weekly Shonen
Yeah.
Jump, so that's what they announced it with Tomorrow Studios.
Yeah.
So for the 20th anniversary for the series.
And then Oda revealed in 2020 that Netflix ordered one season of 10 episodes in January 2020, so before the pandemic, right? The pandemic obviously halted that stuff, so, like, it took longer. I think they were filming with masks and stuff. I think you can see some production photos where they were wearing masks for a while. There was a lot of stunt training videos and things like that where they wore masks, so you can kind of tell it was during that time. There was a lot of people who worked on, like, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and The Witcher that worked on this show. I guess on September 7th, so literally just like a couple days ago, they announced that scripts for a second season are ready to go, but they're not going to start filming until after the strike is resolved. So,
Ooh, and I really, really hope that this gets a second season, just jumping the gun, because there is a real financial reason why this wouldn't get renewed, and it's just because of timing, because of the strike, however long it lasts. And there's Netflix, all the major studios are gutting shows because they're just like, if we started today, it wouldn't come out for 2 or 3 years anyways, so we can just move on to something else.
Yeah,
you know?
Netflix
So
is
there's
definitely like, they're ruthless when it comes to, like, shit like that. Like, especially when COVID happened and stuff, like, they really canceled, like, a shit ton of shows, and, like, it was, and like, they canceled, like, major popular shows and everything like that, which was very upsetting because, you know, a lot of them were really good. There was the one with Allison Brie about the female wrestlers. Glow.
Yeah.
Glow.
Like,
Yeah, that was a good show.
That was such an amazing show. And, like, the last season, like, ended on a cliffhanger, and then COVID happened, and Netflix is all like, yeah, we're going to cancel it. And it's all like, why? Why would you do that?
They don't like having shows go past a certain point because they don't want to pay the actors more.
Yeah.
Or the crew or whatever.
Yeah, it comes back to
They
go
like
back
to
to money.
shortchange them, and you'd be like, we don't want to fucking. We're gonna make 2 seasons and cancel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the usual thing is strike when the iron's hot, right? And One Piece is the hot thing right now, but with all the episodes out now, I mean, are we is anybody really going to be talking about this in a month or so?
Right.
And it's just like,
I don't know.
they need to capitalize
might.
it on right now. And I really pray, I really, really hope we get another season of this, but it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
time will
So
tell.
time will tell. Obviously, Netflix, for the Netflix execs out there, I don't know, obviously you don't listen to our podcast, but if you are listening, go fuck yourself. That being said, Yeah, turn off my podcast.
That'll
I'll let you
show.
That's why we call you butt
Yeah,
flicks.
that's why we call you butt flicks.
unless you renew the show, then you're an awesome.
And
we
pay-
love
and-
you.
and pay people
So,
properly.
Renew it, baby.
Yeah.
Well, what we can do as fans, just make sure you watch it on Netflix and make sure you like, even just play it once or twice. Play it again, because they get a lot of metrics on
Yeah,
that.
heart it.
That-
If their metrics are like, oh
Thumbs
shit,
up
we had this
it,
many
like
views.
it.
Second season, let's go.
That being said, I talked about Iñaki Godoy a lot, but I also just had to talk about Makenyu, who is the son of Sonny Chiba, one of the coolest Japanese actors fucking ever. I grew up watching Sonny Chiba as a kid, and obviously, for those of you who don't know, Sonny Chiba, I guess one of his most notable roles is Hattori Hanzo in Kill Bill. Yeah,
cool.
so that's who Sonny Chiba is. Makenyu is his grandson. So, plays Zoro.
Oh.
Yeah, plays Roronoa Zoro. And Emily Rudd, I heard through the grapevine that Emily Rudd's favorite anime is actually Made in Abyss, which is
Yep.
really fucking cool.
That's what Fruit said. That's what Fruit said that that's her favorite, and honestly, that's all that matters according to Fruit. Like,
and I gotta
Yeah, it's the best.
dude. And I gotta say this. I just have to say this. Aside from the five of the Straw Hat Pirates we see in this, which is what they consider the East Blue Saga, my favorite castings of this are Vincent Reagan as Monkey D. Garp and Morgan Davies as Kobe. So good, dude. They're so perfect. Watching Monkey D. Garp be this tough, big, like Scottish fucking dude, it was just so good. Like he's Garp. He's literally Garp. Like it just like if you've read the manga and you read how like you see how he's like this big man and he's all like I eat steak and beef and I'm all about justice and blah blah. That's exactly how he's portrayed. Actually, it's funny because like in the beginning of the show, the live action show, he's portrayed as this real big hard ass. But then you kind of start peeling the layers back each episode, and he's actually this guy who just really cares about people and cares about justice and cares about doing the right thing. And it was perfect. It was so good. So good. And I love Morgan Davies as Kobe also. And you can tell they did a little bit of movie magic with Morgan Davies to kind of make him look like shorter than he actually is, to kind of, you know what I mean? Make him look kind of tiny.
Yeah.
But then later, you actually kind of see he's actually, a decent height. You know what I mean? Like he's as tall as, almost as tall as Iñaki, but.
I remember Kobe in the beginning,
Yeah.
and like I remember how goofy Kobe looked and stuff, and I was interested on how they were going to portray Kobe and stuff, and like he looks great, like the particularly like his glasses, like
The Coke bottle glasses.
they weren't
that are
yeah
so
they
thick.
they weren't
God,
so
those were goofy,
obnoxious.
man.
Like they literally weren't. I mean, they were obnoxious, but they weren't like so
Over.
goofy. Like they looked good on his face.
The worst one was the
Yes.
was the other Marine, like the side character guy
Helmeppo.
with the cat ears. No, the cat ear guy, super side character.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
yeah.
That
yeah,
looked
yeah.
that looked good. That looked out of place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, who's the guy that Zoro kicked his ass? Who's that guy?
Helmeppo.
Oh yeah,
Mihawk.
Helmeppo. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Helmeppo.
Helmeppo.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think.
The other,
God,
yeah,
this wiki. There's so many characters in One Piece that I can't
the other cadet
get
who's
this
yeah,
Yes.
going right.
yeah, dude. Helmeppo's funny.
I thought it was really funny seeing Vincent Reagan with a frickin' bulldog hat.
That's one of those
Yeah, his
things
bulldog.
where, in hindsight, it's like, ooh, maybe we should have left that off. Like because we talk about, we talk about bringing a
was
cartoon
so
into real life, and in
funny.
the anime, it's like, oh, that's interesting or quirky and weird, but in like real life, you're like, that looks stupid. That just
it
doesn't.
was
That was
so
a bad
goofy.
call.
It was so
Yeah.
goofy. Like seeing this Scottish man just like say like this serious speech and everything like that, and like him just wearing this bulldog hat. It's just like, oh my god,
And
it's
it's-
so goofy.
It's like we're at a convention.
And Sam,
goofy.
Sam, correct me if I'm wrong too. It's extra goofy for me because this is a style choice that Oda makes in the anime and the manga early on. But as you know, Garp's character develops and we get more involved with him in his story, he does not wear
No.
this thing. So it's I was like, oh yeah, he wore the stupid dog hat, but even Oda was like, this is dumb as hell and a pain in the ass to draw probably. So he just stopped doing
yeah,
it.
because in the beginning when you first see Garp, he wears it, and then like, it kind of covers his eyes a little bit, and then when they reveal who Garp is in the manga and anime, you know, he doesn't wear it after that. So it's like, yeah. But in this one, in the live action, you know, he wears it probably in one episode and then doesn't after that. Maybe they were trying to do that. Or...
No, he wears it twice. There's 2 scenes that he wears
only 2
it.
scenes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fucking funny, dude. I was like,
Well, I mean,
I had
and-
forgotten about it until like I saw it on the screen. I was like, wait a second, he wears that in the? Is that a thing he wears in the anime and manga? Because I forgot about it. Because like I've seen Garp in the latest chapters and he's not wearing it, right? So I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah. But yeah, it was funny.
So can we talk about the elephant in the room? I want to talk about
Which one? Which one?
Usopp.
Oh yeah,
wanna
so
talk
the one,
about
Danny,
everyone
I'm
was
complaining about his
saying that
nose again.
Usopp got less developed apparently. I don't know, but that's what some people said.
Are we gonna? Is it time? Is it? Oh, welcome to the segment dunking on Usopp. This is always one of our favorite segments.
I just want to say, the Jacob Romano Gibson.
He looks like Usopp.
Like I will say,
Except for the nose.
even though he didn't have the nose, like he had Usopp's smile.
He did.
Like he
Yes.
had the his smirk. Like I just saw Usopp in that smirk. I was just like, he's Usopp. That's it. Like I don't care if he doesn't have the nose. Like I know the nose has like a very significant meaning for Usopp.
He's
and
Pinocchio.
stuff. But like, yeah, well, like because Usopp tells a bunch of lies and everything like that. Like that's what he's known
Yeah.
for, and that's why
Right.
that's why Oda chose to give Usopp the long nose. So, but like he just had like Jacob just like portrayed Usopp's smirk so like I don't even know if it was like CG like that because so for example like in the Jim Carrey How the Grinch Stole Christmas, like the smirk that the Grinch does, like they had to CG that to make it really like exaggerated. So I mean, I don't know if they tweaked his smirk a little bit to like have that exaggeration slightly, or his smirk is just that natural like that. So, also, I don't know if this is true or not, but James told me like he was scrolling through TikTok or whatever, and apparently they did have a nose for Usopp. But they decided to remove it was because Gibson kept playing with it. So
He was picking
He's
his
like messing
nose.
around with it.
literally he kept messing around with it and everything.
Well, it
Like,
would have
he
looked kind
kept,
of
like-
ridiculous though,
Oh, it would have looked
because he's not a
Yeah. I don't
fisherman.
know,
He's like
they
he's a
could've-
human.
they
He's a
could-
regular human, right?
Yeah, Usopp's just a regular guy.
So if he had a nose
with no
looking like
devil
that,
fruit
that'd be fucking
powers.
weird. Yeah, he like no powers, like, but if he had a crazy prosthetic nose, I think it'd look out of place.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't speak for FX makeup or anything like that. I'm not
Right.
an FX makeup artist and stuff, so I don't know how. Like I would want to have a more critical opinion on it if I see like kind of art concepts for Usopp's design.
Sure.
Or
Then
does it
I could-
exist? Is there a photo of him?
Right,
with the
I
prosthetic
haven't-
on.
Yeah, like I haven't really seen anything on the internet. Like it's
Oh, I'd love
like
that.
so I don't know. But as like a character for this universe, I think I actually really liked Usopp's episode in One Piece, like in this version. So it was fun, you know, and like seeing Usopp, you know, throughout the whole show and everything, like he was Usopp, like he was like him fighting with Luffy on like who's going to be captain and everything like that. So it was just fun to see Gibson portray Usopp, in my opinion. I mean, someone else can have a different opinion on him and everything.
I thought all the characters were cast well.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to ask you guys what you thought about that. And for me, everybody seemed to fit their mold. And you know what, Danny, you're just like, not everybody might feel the same way about Usopp. I can say I think they casted Usopp well. I'm just not an Usopp fan to begin with.
Right.
You're tripping.
I've never, like, he's like my least favorite crew member. But that actor, I mean, that was him. That, like, he portrayed him really well for a character I don't care about. So that's props to that guy. That says something.
Yeah.
I'm already not really a fan, and I think he did a great job. Honestly, everyone that they picked for acting, Nami, Sanji, and
Luffy was great
Zoro
too.
especially.
Yeah.
Luffy was great, but I also realized Luffy's such a goofy ass character that, you know, if you get somebody just to scream, "I'm gonna be king of the pirates," like, you sound really fucking goofy as a real life person doing it. And I felt bad for that guy because I loved everybody's performance, and the guy who did Luffy the right way. It's just so goofy to begin with, so it just feels a little jarring.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah,
One thing I'll say is
almost no right
go
way
ahead.
to do it. Oh, sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
no. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Go ahead, Sam.
No, that's all I was gonna say. I was like, there's
Okay,
not really
fine.
a right way to do it. Yeah, it's kind of.
I
Like,
have a slight nitpick with Zoro. He did the gravelly voice too much. Like that's all he talked like.
he was
like,
too
"Oh."
cool. Like they made him too like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
know
nitpick
what?
there. That's a
I-
nitpick there. Because
Yeah.
nobody, some people
I-
talk. Not
I
many people
will
actually talk like that. So
Yeah.
I will say, like, how they wrote Zoro was like, oh yeah, I'm the guy who has 3 swords and I'm too cool. Like, who has a drink? Like, I didn't really kind of like any of Zoro's lines. Like, he felt like he was just kind of tagging along, really, like, and he just thought like Luffy was annoying and everything. Now I don't know how it's funny, so I caught up with majority of the manga that I've been reading recently, and I started One Piece.
Nice.
So I'm like I'm like on the part where Luffy and Zoro meet and everything like that, and you know, I don't know. I feel like how like Zoro is portrayed in the manga is a little bit more like, more outspoken, I guess, versus like he's just too cool in this. Like he's just too cool for anybody, and like. And that's where like I felt so lacklustered with Zoro's character in the live action, especially when like he did that face off with Mihawk and stuff. It felt out of place to me, and I feel like Zoro didn't have like good enough lines. Like it was just more of like, yeah.
he had some funny
I'm
moments
like,
though, where he was sitting in the oh god, the restaurant. I forgot the name. B, it starts with a B. Anyway, he was sitting down and his swords kept getting in the way. Like that was funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Super funny.
Yeah, there was some good little scenes like
But
that.
there's-
Oh no, but Danny, I'm thinking of a specific scene when they're at the bar, and and he's like, him, Nami, and Usopp are talking. Usopp's getting hammered at this bar, and he's not
Baratier,
even looking
Baratier.
at the crew. Yeah, he's not even looking at the crew. He's just like staring off in the distance while drinking.
like,
And it's just like, it's like,
yeah.
bro, we understand you are literally the coolest guy on the
right,
planet.
it's all like, okay, you have 3 swords, we know that you're cool, but you don't have to like try too hard, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you can look
okay.
at people.
Like,
yeah, you can look at people
you
in
can be a little
conversation.
loose here and there, like it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the live action, I agree with all of you. He was too rule of cool, and he like he is that way in the manga, but not all the fucking time. So like, and actually,
And even if he is, like, you got to change it for live action. You got to change some of the stuff for live action. Some stuff doesn't work.
Yeah,
It works in a cartoon, but not in the flesh sometimes.
yeah, and I hope they do loosen him up more because, obviously, the dynamic between him and Sanji gets more and more funnier as it goes on. So hopefully,
Oh yeah.
they do like
That was funny. Yeah, he was like, he was giving Sanji shit for his cooking. He's like, yeah, I was just hungry or whatever. I forgot. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're he kept calling him a waiter instead of a chef.
Yeah, he's a waiter.
Right, because that's how Sanji is first introduced as the waiter.
Okay,
at
can
the
we talk
Barate.
about Taz for a second? Like, I just want to give him kudos.
That's Sanji.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, that the actor is named Taz
Yes.
Skylar.
Go off. Go.
he-
Sanji rant.
He literally bust his ass on training. I literally saw a progressive video of him, like, from day one of training for the Sanji role versus like day one versus like I think a week or like a month later. Like, he was doing all like the high kicks and everything like that. I really like how Taz portrayed Sanji. I mean, I have a feeling that once I get to like more of the grit with Sanji, and Sam, you've talked about Sanji before and like how ridiculous Sanji can be, but also Sanji's just super fucking cool all at the
He
same
is.
time. And
Yes.
like you said that I would like Sanji, so
But that's how you do Rule of Cool with Sanji, the way he did it.
yes.
He had a little more
Right,
expression,
and-
going on.
and like
Yeah.
and I feel like I really liked Sanji's backstory in the live action, especially how like he interacts with Zeph
Yeah.
and stuff. Like he that like one scene where Zeph was all like, "Get the fuck out of here! Like you're not like worth to me anymore. Like you have no." I get like you have no life here anymore. Like just go with Luffy, find the all blue because that is your freaking dream. And like Zeph is just being a freaking hard ass and not like saying like, I love you, you're like a son to me because I practically raised you. So please go on and go do it. Like it was just
Yeah,
like the complete
that was a
opposite.
nice story, and like the flashback to when they're stranded on the that rock.
Okay, now we're getting to spoiler. I haven't
Yeah.
announced spoiler territory.
Okay.
You guys got to follow the order of operations. Jesus fucking Christ.
Spoilers. All right, are we done with this part? It's One Piece. Come on.
Well, that's the fun of One Piece.
can't
though, is
spoil it.
Like, I love how, as a lover of One Piece, it's exciting to hear people get ahead of themselves and be like, "Oh yeah, and then this happened, then this happened." Like, I'm getting more excited just talking with you guys about it because of how excited you are. And yes, we are unfortunately going to spoiler because that's how
Okay.
great Sanji's story is.
Yeah. So are we done with like production? Is there anything
Well,
else
one
that
thing
we
I
wanna
wanted to
talk
say about Taz Skylar too. He didn't just train in Taekwondo and Tang Sudo.
Yep.
He also trained as a chef. So they
Oh,
Yes.
he went through culinary
yeah.
training.
He does his own chef
Yeah,
stunts.
he literally and actually there's a Netflix video too where he cooks that dish that you see him cooking right when you first see him on screen. He cooks that dish for them and they're like, "Wow, this is actually delicious." And like he actually cooked for them before he got the training and they're like, "Yeah, this is all right." Like, and they're like, "Holy crap, dude, you actually like know how to cook now?" He's like, "Yeah, I know. Like I went through months of training, chef training just to do this." And yeah, so chef training, physical training, Tang Sudo, Taekwondo, which you could argue is like the main style Sanji uses. Not that they say that in One Piece because Taekwondo doesn't really exist really. The reason he kicks is so he doesn't mess up his hands, which
That's his whole
Yeah.
thing is right from Zeph. Like a chef doesn't use his hands. Like those are your paintbrushes basically. If you're an artist.
yeah. So that's the reason why he kicks. And he just is like really fucking good at it. He gets really good at it. But yeah, no, getting into spoilers, I do want to say this about the Baratier episode, what Nick was about to say, the backstory of Sanji and Zeph. So I just want to say this part, just because it's really amazing. I kind of was when I obviously, like, the big thing about this is like, oh yeah, Oda oversaw a lot of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the anime, the way Zeph loses his leg is the storm busts everything up, right? They get fucking stranded. Zeph dives down to look for Sanji or look for any survivors. He finds Sanji caught in a piece of ship, and he grabs Sanji, and a piece of the ship falls on his leg, and that's how he loses it.
Oh, okay.
In the manga,
Yeah, so it's a little different.
what happens in the live action show is what happens in the manga.
Oh, interesting.
what?
So in the
How does he
So
lose
they
it?
changed it for the anime.
Wait, the live action. Oh, I see what you're saying. So the anime changed
The live
it.
action is more
The
faithful.
anime
changed it.
The live
Okay.
action is
I was
more
gonna say
faithful.
because this is a better way to do it.
Yeah,
The way they did it in the live
Yeah.
action and manga, because like he gives Sanji a bag. He's like, take your bag and go sit on the other side of the island. That's the food you get. That's the food I get. And Sanji's all mad that he got more, that the other guy got more food, but really the other guy didn't have any food. He gave Sanji all the food,
yeah.
which
Yes.
is fucking badass, dude.
Dude, it's so metal. You know, it's just like
It's
metal
so
guitar.
metal.
Eat your own leg.
Yeah, he kept-
I really loved like how they made Zeph in this, like the freaking braided mustache.
That's such a good casting.
mustache.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
It was
It like
so
wobbled
good.
as he talked.
Yeah,
His
it was
giant-
so good.
His tall ass hat.
All these people win all the cosplay contests. Honestly, like the
Oh,
way
yeah.
Zeph looked
Yeah,
was
for
amazing.
real.
I mean, some of it looked a little goofy. Like some of the wigs, like King was saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like Luffy's mentor. What's the guy's name? Shanks, I think.
Shanks.
Tiny bit.
Oof.
Yeah,
It was fine,
I
but like,
red hair Shanks.
yeah.
I want to go off on the hair, but we can let Sam
And
keep going on how
Nami's
awesome Sanji
Nami's
is.
sister with the green hair.
Let me just go.
Blue hair.
Was it blue hair? Oh yeah, blue hair. Yeah. That one looked a little off to me, but yeah, I mean, you know, it was good enough, I think.
But yeah, like it fucking Zeph, like the whole thing was like the bigger bag didn't have any food in it. It had pirate loot, it had booty, it had gold, money, because he's a pirate.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
Which is useless on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he-
when Sanji walked over and he sees the bag still tied up, like still full, he's like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Oh shit!"
right, and then he screams, "You ate your own leg!" Like that's the way
Yeah.
he did that looked exactly how it looked in the fucking manga, dude. Like holy shit, god damn it, dude.
And that's when they get it. They do a couple, and Sam, I don't know if you've seen online some screen captures. There is a couple shots from the live action that are shot for shot from the manga, and they can replicate it in the anime as well. So there are these moments where you're like, this is a separate thing, disconnect. But they made a point on certain frames to make it a perfect shot for shot remake of the manga. And that's something I do appreciate as a fan. Like, it doesn't have to be 100%, but there's these key moments. Sanji's backstory when he says goodbye to Zeph
Yeah.
as well. This is what hooks people into One Piece. Is these early on Nami's storyline. This one right here, like this is the shit that brings people back, and it hit just as hard with this specific scene too. I remember tearing up with Zeph and Sanji's goodbye. My wife actually was like
gosh.
bawling, crying.
So good. It was so
She was-
heartwarming. I loved it. It was
Ugh.
literally like a father just letting his son just like achieve his dream.
Found
and, like,
family.
You know, like that's what, you know, like family should be, is, you know, yeah, like Sanji saying, you know, I'm gonna miss you, old man, blah blah blah. Like I'm internally grateful for you for whatever you did for me and all that. So like, and Zeph, even though Zeph was like super strict and super hard on Sanji, on the Baratier and everything like that, but like he knows how talented Sanji is as a chef and stuff. So like, it was so good. It was so good.
I know, just thinking about it, I'm like, I'm getting verklempt
Yeah,
right
dude.
now.
I want to go back and read the
Oh my
East Blue
God.
Saga, man. Like again, I just like, oh, but yeah, dude, that was one of the some of the things that were streamlined in that arc too, the Baratier part.
Yeah, I can't speak on any of the changes. I was gonna look up the changes, but it wouldn't make sense if I talked about it.
It just so like when Luffy and Zoro protect the Baratier and Sanji protect the Baratier from Don Krieg. Yeah, he in the live action it's just straight up Arlong just comes and fucks with them, which kind of makes sense too. Like they made it make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, in the manga, you don't even know who Arlong is until after. So
yeah, it's
it's
much more
quite a bit of
stretched
time.
out,
Yeah.
and the anime is even more stretched out. But okay, I got a question for you guys who've read it and watched watched the anime. So if you could pick one good change and one bad change for the live action, like what is your most favorite and least favorite change?
Oh man.
And you can
If we're
have the
talking
same
about
one, it's fine.
Sam, if we're talking about Sanji, I think it was a very wise choice in this day and age to tone down his horniness.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because he was just like a creep, pretty much. I've heard that people say
he's a big woman.
He's
like a
Yeah.
Master Roshi pervert.
Yeah.
You know?
He's straight up like
Yeah, he's such
dive after you, want to hug you.
nosebleeds.
Whereas in
Yeah,
the-
Nosebleed looks stupid in real life.
The love eyes that shoot out, you know what I mean? The heart will shoot out and do like thud kind of thing. And you know, I was like, oh god, how are they gonna do that? Because it would look terrible in real life. And all they did was just he's a smooth talking womanizer.
Yeah.
So there's like a kind of a cool aspect to it, like, oh, he's a playboy. But the ladies don't give him time of day, which is the right choice because they don't give him the time of day in the manga and the anime. And you know, I think at one scene he constantly hitting on Nami and then hits on Nami's sister, and Nami's sister's just like, yeah, right, whatever. I'm like, perfect that you guys handled this particular thing.
Even though if it were me,
Yeah, in real life,
and
everyone would say
Sanji-
yes. Come on.
And Sanji said, "Oh, maybe I'll give you some private cooking lessons." I'll be like, "Okay."
Yeah,
Danny's,
real people
Danny's
would say
got
yes.
the wolf eyes.
I'm
the hard eyes are
sorry,
coming
but,
out of
like,
Danny.
Okay. What really grabbed me for Sanji's character, okay, is when Arlong threw Luffy into the water because he knew Luffy ate a devil fruit and so he can't swim.
And they didn't
So-
explain that directly in the show. They should have done that, but whatever.
Anyway, so Sanji dives into the ocean to save Luffy. And Sanji is shirtless in this thing. And holy shit, like those freaking
Lord.
those abs, like I can play a freaking xylophone on those abs and like
Lord have
holy
mercy.
shit. I was just like, "Oh my."
I haven't had sex in 4 years.
Okay.
He's very handsome.
I will definitely take some private cooking lessons from you,
I took
sir.
some private
There we
Taekwondo
go.
lessons.
That's
What
what
are
I'm
you
talking
talking dude? Kick me in the balls. Kick me in my tits. Why don't you?
So that was Nick. This is bringing it back to your question of one thing I
One change
Liked
you
that
liked
they
and one you
changed?
disliked. Yeah.
and let me say this: I disliked it at first because I was just like, this is weird. I don't understand why we're getting so much, but I understand from a show point. And I like it now, but at the time, how much screen time Kobe and Garp were getting.
Oh yeah,
because
they didn't get that much right away, right?
this-
In the manga.
No. In the live action show, you think that it's just like, oh, this is two people's stories that we're going to be following for the rest of time. And, you know, as a One Piece head, you're like, bitch, we don't know shit about Kobe. Like, I explained to my wife, she's like, wow, is this Kobe character really that important to the story? I'm like, no, you will go hundreds of chapters without seeing Kobe. Now, in the beginning, you get a little bit of this and that. So it was just a little jarring to just see at times. You're like, why is Kobe in this so much? And why is Garp in this so much? But from a storytelling point, I totally get it. And it makes sense because if it's just the Straw Hats the whole time, you're going to probably get a little bored You want variety in
Well,
the
yeah, and you
story.
need
it is-
exposition about the Marines and the world.
Exactly.
Right? And he's kind of the
Yeah.
audience insert a little bit.
Yes.
Exactly. No, I think that's perfect. So that was like one of my, one of the things that they really changed for me that stuck out. But I understand why they did it. So, I get it. But what about you guys?
That's what I was gonna say. I do like that change, because exactly what Nick said. Kobe is kind of the audience insert into the Marine world and how they operate. And one of the things that Monkey D. Garp says is. And actually, they just call him, Vice Admiral Garp until the end because you're not supposed to know until.
Yep.
Anyways, he says I could have been a fleet admiral by now, but I didn't want to be, because if I was, I wouldn't get as much freedom as I do, trying to do the right thing. I'd be under the Marines I'd be the Marine I'd be a straight up Marine dog, doing straight up what they just told me to do, and I just had to do it. But as a fleet admiral, not a fleet admiral, but as a regular admiral, he can just go where he wants and deal with pirates as he wants, right? And so he explains that to Kobe, because Kobe wants to do the right thing. Kobe wants to
Always.
he wants to put away the bad guys and reward good. And Kobe is very much that saying where it's evil wins when good does nothing. Yeah, it's that's what Kobe is. And so, because you were following this character so long, they wanted to reveal earlier that Garp is actually Monkey D. Garp and is Luffy's grandpa. And so, they don't actually reveal that until way later in the manga.
Right. That's what James said. And actually, I walked in. James was watching that scene when I walked into the house at work, and I watched it with him. And James goes, "Oh yeah, that's Luffy's grandfather." And then at the end of the show, he revealed to me who Luffy's dad was, and I was just all "Wait, so Luffy's grandpa is a part of the Marines, and his dad is this?" And I'm just how the hell? And Luffy is a pirate, and I'm how does that make sense? I was just what kind of fucked up family is this? So
Yeah.
And then when I watched the show, and they showed that scene where Garp he's attacking the Going Merry and stuff, but the cannons aren't working, so he literally just takes the cannonballs and just throws them with his bare hands. and I go,
His belly.
and James is watching it
Oh,
with
you're talking
me,
about when
and
Garp
I'm
threw it.
and I
Sorry.
go,
My bad. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm and I go, "Oh wait, this was the scene that you were watching the other night." He's yeah, and James was kind of mad at it. He's they don't even show that until way later. They did it so early, blah blah blah. So, but I mean I thought it was fine. I thought it didn't.
For this, it worked.
It was
it worked because
Yeah.
They got to streamlize it. Streamlize?
And this is probably the most extreme streamlined thing in it, but it still worked because
Yes.
it kind of it's like they pre-built Garp and Kobe and Helmeppo very heavily. So because maybe in the next season we may not see them as much. So when they do come back, they're more in our minds oh shit, they're back.
Right, because at the end of the show, Kobe and Helmeppo goes up to Garp and was all yeah, I want you to train me and all that kind of stuff. So.
Which the next time you see Garp and Kobe and Helmeppo is after Enos Lobby, where they rescue Robin, and so that's when Garp reveals that he takes off his dog hat and is yeah, I'm Luffy's grandfather. Mm-hmm. And they start arguing and punching each other, and it's really funny. But yeah, that's the one big change that I was alluding to earlier, and I actually like it for this show, for this purpose, for the reasons Nick said and for the reasons King said. I guess the one thing I didn't like is the one thing where the streamline didn't work for me was the relationship building between Zoro and Nami and Luffy. They're like the original three, right? So it's kind of like
Right.
Yeah.
it was just done so quick, and like I don't know, Luffy was already ready to like Luffy. He is like that way in the manga. I mean, if you're nice to him once, he'll punch somebody for you. He'll like, you know what I mean? Like he'll literally. If you are nice to him once and he sees you do a good thing, he's able to like read your character pretty well, and then like he'll literally drop a motherfucker for you. You know what I mean? And so that's how he is in the live action show, and that's good and that's awesome. But it's just like the relationship building just between him and Zoro and Nami. It didn't seem like it was. It didn't seem like it was zoomed in on enough. It felt like, yeah,
Totally. They're rushing. It's like they're rushing, and I get why, because we got to get a whole bunch of info in 8 episodes.
yeah, in 8 hours, yeah.
But we miss a lot of. I feel like we miss some important backstory. Well, maybe not important backstory, but like the lead up to why things are important and developing relationships and having conversations and little silly slapstick moments. These are all important to building these relationships and the whole world as we know it. But when everybody, if you guys notice, everybody gets 2 episodes for how they join the crew.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone, Zoro 2 episodes, Nami 2 episodes, Sanji 2 episodes, and Sam, I think I understand the format of why they do that, but like, looking way ahead down the line, when they introduce, say, Chopper, I don't want to, like, I love how he joins and I love his backstory. I'm like, don't give him a 2-episode treatment. Like, really dig into this character, explain him. Same with Frankie. Like, don't rush him just because we have to get it in 8 episodes, because we're gonna lose some good context there.
Yeah, and Chopper's too is like, it's kind of at the climax of
Chopper,
it's
my
kind of at
son!
the climax of a big fight. So hopefully that makes it longer. That was funny too in the anime and manga. Chopper's like, no, I don't want to, or whatever, and then Luffy's just like, shut up, like just get on the ship.
Yeah.
But like, shout out Jamie Lee Curtis, right? Because everyone wants her to play Kureha.
Dude, like, low-key, I hope they ask her to be a part of this cast.
I talked about
Low-key, high-key, but low-key, but also
high key, low key.
And she seems like someone they can get, because like, she's at that point in her career where she's like, I don't like, money is always good and everything, but if it's like a budget thing, I could see her being like, I'll take a pay cut to make sure everybody gets paid and that I can be in this, and
well,
it doesn't
she's a
have
One
to be
Piece
some crazy
fan
amount.
as
Yeah.
well. Like,
Exactly, because she's a fan.
huge
They could
One
get
Piece
her.
fan.
They can
So-
actually get her,
Yeah, they could.
I hope they do, because
unless they
like,
fuck
I
it
mentioned
up.
that on a news.
Wait, which character is she supposed to play?
Kureha, Dr. Kureha, which is Chopper's mentor, or Chopper's second mentor, I guess.
Oh, who's gonna play Chopper? Danny DeVito.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. I don't know
think
if
you
I
can-
want
Yeah,
to see. I don't. It's like, do I want to see what Chopper's gonna look like in this world? And I
It's
really
gonna look
don't
like
know,
Sonic
and
before
it's-
they fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, okay, so here's another thing I'll say that was really awesome. The practical makeup and practical effects are really good. The way the fishmen look, and
Yeah, they look pretty good.
oh man,
they look pretty decent.
the
I will
fucking I can't find it. The guy who plays Arlong is so good.
McKinley Bleacher.
Oh, McKinley Belcher the
Belcher?
third. Here it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
Belcher. Yeah.
So good.
say he was great.
So good. And
I loved the music for whenever Arlong was like showed up and stuff. It was like this like spooky hip hop kind of music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was just like, yeah, this is. I could totally see like Arlong just being a huge like hip hop
Yeah.
fan.
The every character I think was casted perfectly in my opinion, but like that one was really good. even Stephen Ward as Mihawk, like Dracula Mihawk, so good. The dude, they made his sword on point, by the way, too. Let's talk about the props. The props and practical effects and the makeup were good. The straw hat was really good. The ship looks really nice. And of course, this is okay. It's fucking Netflix. Okay, they spent a lot of fucking money. Okay, that was one of my favorite things about the Cowboy Bebop adaptation was the set design. Holy shit,
Yes.
dude! Like, god damn it, the Baratier looked amazing on the inside and out, and the Arlong Park looks exactly like how I would think it would look. I mean, all of it, dude. Fucking Kaya's mansion was amazing on the inside. It looked like, it was, like she criticizes it for being like old. Like, it's like, that's really old. All the stuff in here is out of date and dated and old. And that's exactly how it looked. Like, you would walk in there and be like, God, what fancy, like, 100-year-old motherfucker would live in this bitch. And she literally says it. She's like, my fucking parents, because they're fucking old and dated and weird, But, like,
Yeah.
and the girl who plays Kaya, by the way, Celeste Lutz, she was very pretty.
Okay, she looked so gorgeous even though she was playing a
Yeah, no, seriously, like,
They like made her they made her super gray looking, and I was like,
Yeah, let me see some of that sickly paleness. Ugh.
so
the blue
so
suit.
Kaya is
The blue
supposed to be just very beautiful, right? Just this very beautiful princess heir to the shipyard business or whatever, right? And I'm sure many actors could have done the beauty justice. No, I'm not saying that the actor who did do it was the most beautiful person who could do it, but like, she was beautiful, man. Like, just sitting there talking to Usopp and giggling and smiling when she was crying, every emotion was good. Like, it just like, I Google imaged her and she looks so pretty, man. She's so gorgeous. Celeste, if you're listening to this right now, I love you. You're very beautiful. Let me know who does your makeup. Jesus Christ. So like, but like, honestly, on top of that though, too, like, I'm going to answer King's question one more time. A change I did like is that her and Usopp kissed.
Yeah.
That's actually
that was a
that's
change I
that's
heard,
the,
yeah.
that's the that's a huge change because folks like Oda has always said this is not a romance story. Early on he was like, these characters will not fall in love. Don't ever expect that, and he has stayed true at 1,090 chapters so far.
But he heavily implied that there was something between them before Usopp left, and so
yes.
It's kind of like we all kind of wanted that, so I'm glad they gave it to us in the live action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it felt good. It was like, oh shit, this is not your daddy's One Piece anymore.
Yeah, because so like the big thing about One Piece, right, is every character of the Straw Hat crew has a dream and goal, and the point is that when they find the One Piece, the rest of them will achieve their goal, and Usopp's is to return to Kaya with a myriad of stories about how he became a great pirate warrior. And
yes.
you just assume that at the end of all this, Luffy's going to be Pirate King, Zoro's going to be the greatest swordsman ever, Sanji's going to have cooked all the ingredients from the All Blue, Danny's going to take a poop, Nick's going to take a pee, King is going to finally get laid, that kind of thing. And that Usopp is going to return back to Syrup Village, tell Kaya all the stories, and they get married. Like, that's kind of like implied that he's going to return to her, tell her all the stories, and they're going to start a thing. And so it was kind of nice that he finally just gave us a little pre-romance of that goal, of Usopp's goal. And I dig that. So, some people might complain.
It feels more real.
But we all wanted it when we read when we read that chapter. So shut up. You should be happy that we got it.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Or some, we want, like, we're adults. I want romance. The story would be
I haven't
better
had
for me
sex
if
in
there
10
was just-
years.
Yeah.
I don't want everybody to be
And I'm
kind of
getting upset.
romance,
I'm
a
trying to
little
fuck.
bit goes a long way. I don't want everybody to have. I don't want it to be like all fucking.
Yeah, I don't want Luffy to have one.
Reality show type shit.
Yeah.
You know?
No. But a little bit, like you said, it can go a long way. I totally agree with that. Now, Sam, I noticed you said something that stuck out to me. a lot of the makeup, the design of the show of the sets are incredible. The fishmen look pretty good. But I do have to nitpick on a few things that I did not like that have to deal with wardrobe. And the one that blatantly, like, that glaringly stands out to me is I think the Marines' uniforms are so goofy and stupid looking.
Really?
Yeah, I it looks I guess in the manga, it looks very chic. It looks very stylish, well fitted. Kobe makes there's like a little joke where Kobe's outfit doesn't fit him, and at the end, Garp is like, "Oh, that suit's looking better on you now." The only problem is, I think everybody they all look ill-fitted. The hats look super cheap that say Marine on them. I really did not like the wardrobe choice for how this looked. I don't know what they could have done to make it better. I'm not sure if I have that answer, but there are certain points. I'm thinking also of Luffy when he has the classic vest and jean shorts.
Yeah.
They just look and
They look too clean.
I mean, it looks pretty much. Yeah, it's too clean. It looks like a high school play.
It looks too cosplay.
A costume designer made it. Yeah, it looks too cosplay, and I'm like, I want to be immersed in this world. And where they get it right is with, I love Zoro's outfit. I love Sanji's suits and
Well,
nice
that's just a
pressed
suit.
shirts.
Like,
Yeah, but they're well fitted and they look good. Nami's outfit looks pretty good. I think Arlong's outfit looks fantastic, and that's right from the manga and anime.
Mihawk
so there's
looks
these
good.
points
Mihawk
where they
is
get
good.
it right.
Yeah, Mihawk's was.
Mihawk looked
And
really
I think
good.
Buggy was good too.
Yeah, Buggy's is good.
Yeah, Buggy's fine. So there's just like these little things where I feel like they dropped the ball on that kind of like brought me out of the show.
Took you out of it,
Another
yeah.
point of about wardrobe is the hair.
Yeah.
And I'll be specific with Nami's hair at time. I think it looks to me like they dyed it as opposed to a wig at certain points. And even if they didn't, her hair looks unhealthy in a way. I'm just like, that just looks like somebody did a bad job instead of just, I'm like, girl, get some conditioner.
Girl,
Pirates remember. Okay, I am gonna defend on hair. Depending on the type of hair Emily Rudd has, the ocean or like any sort of humidity can affect
yeah,
that.
that's true.
So
100%.
depending
I
on
agree.
how hot it was wherever they shot and everything like that can definitely affect, and like no matter how many like cuts they could do, like it's not gonna do anything. Not only that, but like it's an action show.
Action Jackson,
so
Flaxen,
like
Waxen.
she's not gonna have like this pretty hair all the time. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah,
Everybody on
I
King.
guess I get it. No, but I totally get that point. But like, Inaki's hair always looks pretty. I mean, that man has a great head of hair. I am jealous of that man's head of hair. He's beautiful, great hair.
Well, that's the luxury of having curly hair.
He's got curly, thick
Exactly.
hair.
So, but this comes back. It's like a consistency thing for me. Of some people look great to me all the time, and then some don't. And
Sure.
and like you said, we can introduce things like humidity, all of this and that. And it's like, well, I mean, like I said, some people just look good all the time, and others don't. I did not care for Zoro. The green hair with Zoro was always going to be, I feel like, tough to pull off. But the green eyebrows too were really funny.
Yeah, they were a little
to
weird.
me.
Yeah. Green eyebrow.
And I just that's just something. So, but overall, like you said, the sets were good. A lot of the costumes were great, but just some of them looked a little dorky to me. I felt the same way about Cowboy Bebop, where I loved some of their outfits and other ones not so much. And thank God they didn't put Nami in ridiculous outfits. Another good change, in my opinion. A positive,
Give her a micro bikini.
normal clothes. Yeah, like these little weird outfit. Like, she's a pirate, and I think she deserves respect. And I definitely think they did her character right in that. So that's like a huge positive for Nami right there.
One thing I found funny, like in One Piece, do people wear tennis shoes
Yes.
in the manga? Do they do that? Because in the show, there's a few
Yes.
people who like kind of had him on. Okay, so that's fine. Also,
Yeah,
people were
yeah.
mad that Luffy didn't have his sandals, but like apparently that's like a Netflix safety thing that he has to have shoes or something. But I don't know. But
Yeah, he had like Croc-looking shoes on, kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, they were like slip-on moccasins or some shit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think because I think a lot of the shoes in One Piece are just like slip-on kind of runners or boots. I don't know if there's any that are actually like sneakers or tennis shoes. Now that I think about it, I think actually Kizaru might, the Marine with the light fruit, the Fleet Admiral with the light fruit. I hate him. I hope he dies. Anyways, but like, yeah, I don't know, man. I got to think about that. I don't think so. I thought maybe Garp. Or maybe Garp just wears boots too. But yeah,
They also might wear dress shoes in the military as well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they wear like the closed-toed, like, whatever, the steel toe, whatever, something or others. I do want to say this also. I kind of wish, and I understand, right, because they wanted to adapt like whatever. The fight with Arlong was good. I thought the fight with Arlong was good. I wish it was a little longer. When they're doing big group fights, like the one in the first or second episode with Nami, Zoro versus and Luffy versus the Marines and Axe Hand Morgan, I wish when they're doing big group fights like that where they're taking out a bunch of Yutses at once, right? I wish the choreography was a little better. When you're doing live action, you can there's tons of things you can do to make it look flashy, right? And we've seen things, if you watch movies like House of Flying Daggers, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, things like that, right? Or even what's a better example could be like The Protector or Tom Yum-goong, right? Better one. Shop Ho Lang, SPL, if you've ever seen those movies. I feel like you can make the choreography more flashy, more blocks, a little quicker, you know what I mean? Because it kind of took me out of it when they were just kind of, it almost looked like they were punching slowly and then just flying around, you know what I mean? Where I feel like in the One Piece world, one of the biggest things in the One Piece world is speed and how fast they're hitting each other, right? Especially when we get to like parts like, if it happens, with Kizaru, who has the light fruit, right? So like, the one thing they did do well, right, was when Luffy did the gum Gatling on Arlong, right? More of that. You know what I mean? Because like in that first fight, it just was like, whoa, I'm gonna slip under here, jump over you, and I'm gonna give you a little kick. Yep. You know what I mean? Like it just like it kind of seemed slow. You know what I mean? Like it seemed kind of Let's get fucking Donnie Yen or Yun Wo Ping in there. Okay, let's get
right.
Let's get Pan and Richard Cry in there and choreograph some stuff. I just or Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves can probably choreograph some good shit. That's just me, and I'm not saying everything has to be kung fu martial arts or whatever, but like, they can still choreograph a good fight. You know what I mean? And I feel like in the world of One Piece, there's so many different fighters who fight different ways. Obviously, you have Zoro, who's like a fucking Japanese quote-unquote swordsman, and then you have Nami, who uses a bow staff. Who you could say is kind of like Kali or ninjutsu, and then you have Luffy, who does like mixed martial arts and things like that, right? Or he does boxing or just brawling, right? You can have all that and still make it look nice. You know what I mean? You can have that mixture and still make it look good. Or, Sanji with his Taekwondo or Tang Soo Do, or we'll call it chef kicking in that world, I guess. But like, I wish that the choreograph was a little better because it seemed a little little lacking in my opinion. That
Yeah.
being
And some fights were way better than others, so it wasn't consistent with the level.
Yeah, exactly. And you can and I'll cite a movie where I think that they did it really well. Shang-Chi. If you've never seen Marvel's Shang-Chi, I'll tell you this right now. Regardless of any other Marvel movie you've seen or haven't seen, you can watch Shang-Chi by itself and it'll be fine. The only like other nods in it, I guess, are like, you know, who the Ten Rings were, and then like there's like a Abomination from the Hulk is in it or whatever. But like, in Shang-Chi, the final fights in that movie where he fights like his father and shit and the big dragon thing or whatever the fuck it is, that final fight scene alone, you just fucking showed me that a Dragon Ball Z live action fight can be done on screen and look really nice. That's literally what that showed me. And I've never said that before until now, but like I watched Shang-Chi like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months ago. I still hold that thought to this day. Can easily be done. You can take a Bleach level full powered, a Naruto full powered level fight, or a One Piece full level fight, and do it well on screen. And Shang-Chi, the final fight in Shang-Chi, is proof of that. Can easily be done. And so, like, with the right technology and the right CG artists and the right, use of harnesses and green screening and things like that, you can make it look wild. And when we get to things like Marineford and Impel Down, and even some Grand Line fights that are coming up here, like the fight with even Crocodile, right? You're gonna need something wild like that. You're gonna need wild shit like that. So like, I hope that they do improve on that when we perhaps get the second and hopefully third and whatever, how many seasons. And actually, that being said, that's gonna be my final thought, because overall I loved it, and the nitpicks are few. They are fewer than I thought they were gonna be, and these last nitpicks that I said are my only nitpicks, I guess. And I agree with King, and I pretty much agree with everyone here, except I don't agree with your face. Anyways, I don't know what I was gonna say. There. I don't. I gotta disagree with anything.
No.
But anyways, final thoughts for you guys. What do you guys think?
Sam, I think you hit it on the head, man. I think you really hit it on the head. There's a few things I nitpick. Only last thing I'll nitpick, go back and watch young Luffy. He does not have a Spanish accent like adult Luffy does.
Oh yeah, accent.
Continuity.
Yeah. So
this
it's
is
a
why child
consistency
actors suck.
Yeah, I looked it up. Colton Osario plays young Luffy. He's from Massachusetts, so yeah, he's probably not. Yeah, he's probably not gonna have an accent. But here's the thing: they got a British kid to play Sanji.
Luffy's grandfather was had a Scottish accent, right? So
exactly. So it's just once again, it's just these little consistent things where somebody from production should have been like, "Hey, fix that," or "Don't cast that kid," or do something about the accent, because it was just silly. But like I said, there's these little nitpick things I have. Overall, I really enjoyed this, man. My wife and I had so much fun watching it. She had a blast getting into One Piece. She's like, when it ended, she was like, "Wait, there's no more?" And that's the best reaction to a show you can have is, "Oh wait, I want more of this. Hold on, when's this going to get made again?" and everything. So getting to watch it with her, it has just been the most fun ride, and I'm a fan. I'm up to date, and you're gonna like this if you can just separate it from your mind and its own thing. Go have fun and watch it. But I'll turn it over to you guys.
Go ahead, Nick.
I will go. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I'm really interested in Nick's opinion.
Like I said before, this fixes what Cowboy Bebop did wrong. One Piece, they stayed true to what makes One Piece One Piece. They didn't
say that.
Mess around with the themes and the characters. They kept it stylized.
Say that.
While still adapting it to live action, because it's kind of tough because like they had to they had to ride a fine line between like the over-the-top, goofy, zany One Piece style, and then also like believable live-action, performances and sets and everything. So some people think they should they should lean into the zaniness more, and some people think they should do less. And it's hard to say, but I think they still captured it, like the essence of what it is. And I haven't read it, but I know the manga is going to be the best way to consume it, really, like the most pure way, because the anime has a lot of filler and stuff. But if you haven't started any One Piece, I would say, hey, just watch the live action to start, because this is only 8 hours, right? It's a good way to get on board, and then from there you can read the manga and watch some of the anime, that type of thing. Oh, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
Get on board the merry go. Is that what you're talking about, Nick? Oh,
I don't know what the merry go is, but yeah, let's do it. Is that his boat?
Or the Going Merry. Sorry,
The Going Merry.
Going Merry. I know
bad.
there's the Pinta Santa Maria and the fucking
the Going Merry was the
I don't
third
know.
one that helped came to America.
the Mayflower. Get out the Mayflower. All right. I thought every character was cast as well as you could reasonably cast them. And I just at the end of the day I had fun. Like it was a good adaptation, and like overall like a pretty good TV show. Like, is it the best TV show ever? No, but it's the best live action Western anime TV show in my opinion. So yeah, that's my final thoughts. I don't have we're not doing scores till the end, right? We'll do that at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
After Danny gives her final thoughts. Yeah.
And I understand they changed some things, they moved some things forward, highlighted certain characters more or less than others. I'm not a source material person, so I don't know what they changed, but it did flow really well. I think it all made sense. I do have a slight nitpick, is that they didn't use enough maps. I always want more maps in my media. Like, do the little Indiana Jones thing where you have a plane flying on the map. I want to see that. I want to see that every time, especially with One Piece. Like, they did a really great job with the wanted posters, which you didn't mention yet. Like, whenever you
Yeah,
found
that
a
was
new
fun.
a new pirate or new like character of interest, like they'd slap their poster on the screen, and that was fucking badass. Especially
Yeah, I
with
like that.
Mihawk. Mihawk had probably the best one, but yeah. And then when Luffy finally got his own poster, that was sweet too. But yeah, great show. Everybody should watch it. Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on board with everyone else, really. It's a very well production for a Western anime adaptation. There are some things that I do feel that they could have used a little bit more. Like Sam was saying that the earlier fight scene could have used a little bit more flashy fighting choreography and stuff, and I do agree on that. I actually think that the buggy fight was a little lackluster in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not, I think it was Nami who like managed to escape or something like that, and she went out of the tent and like the whole town was destroyed and everything. I would have liked to have seen Buggy destroy the town, quite frankly. I want to see how, I feel like that's terrifying to just, see a whole town just destroyed already. But I think it's even more terrifying when you actually see it in action and actually happening. So, because that kind of builds... That builds a good villain, a good character building and everything like that by you actually seeing them in action on doing the evil deeds and stuff. So I really would have liked to see a little bit more of a fight during the Buggy arc versus the Arlong arc. I feel like the Arlong arc was really good with the choreography. I mean, I loved the scene between Usopp and that one fish guy. So that was pretty fun. So I kind of wish that we would have gotten a lot more of that flashiness that we got in the finale throughout the rest of the show. I I still don't understand why Mihawk was in here. I think he was, in my opinion, I think he was just a plot device for Zoro. I don't know why he was there. I don't think he was needed in this first season. So
He was cool.
Yeah, he's cool and everything.
And he brought
but
he brought Luffy's poster to Shanks.
that's fine, whatever. But like, I don't know. I didn't see like, I didn't really care for his character. Like, he was just a plot device, and that was it. Like,
Well, he showed that the Marines got their hands dirty and worked with pirates and mercenaries and stuff. He was like kind of a hired hand type of guy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I still don't understand it. Like, I don't think it was needed, really. I think they could have used someone else for Zoro to have a fight during the Baratier thing. But whatever. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. Like, I really hope that there's a second season because, again, I would totally love to see Jamie Lee Curtis in this. Like,
Let's go.
I really want to see that, quite frankly. Like, I want to see Jamie in an anime adaptation flick or show, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Do you want me to just tell you my score now and then like everyone else goes?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're moving into the score section now. So
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So I'm going to give it. Oh, also, I really liked how they changed the skull in the One Piece title for each episode.
Oh, that was cute with who they focused the episode on. It was their flag.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
That was a good one.
So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 buggy heads.
Yay. Nice. I don't mind going next, and I will be unoriginal yet again and steal Danny's idea to give it an 8 out of 10. It's so much fun. I had a really great time. I want to see more. And the other scene that we didn't get to mention just due to time that also hit hard along with Sanji and Zeph's goodbye is when Nami is breaking down finally at the end of the Arlong arc.
Oh,
and finally reaches out
for help
from Luffy. And she says, "Please help me." Ooh. And he puts the hat on her to signify, okay, it's business time. Watch my hat. I'm going to go kick everyone's shit in. And that's the moment that I knew when I read that, okay, I'm going to read 1,000 chapters now. Like, that is the scene that committed me to the next 1,000 chapters of this crazy fucking journey we've been on. And I absolutely loved it. So 8 out of 10. Take it away, Nick.
Well, what are the objects you're giving it, though?
Oh, we're going to give it 8 bottles of Zoro booze out of 10 because I like to booze. I'm a booze hound just like Zoro.
All right. Yeah. Great show, like I said. Minor nitpicks aside, I think everybody should check it out. I'm going to give it 8 snail phones out of 10.
Oh, yes. We forgot about the snail phones.
Mushies. Yeah.
Gosh, they were weird.
Those were funny.
Those are great.
I'm looking on Google. There's one with an afro. It looks awesome.
The Denden Mushi. Yeah.
Nice.
It's they're always customized to like the user's personal Denden Mushi.
Yep.
Yeah. So I will say this. The use of practical effects and the way it looks, even the Denden Mushis and like all of that stuff, it kind of reminded me of when I was a kid and I would watch the live action adaptation TV series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Because they had the movies.
Oh my god. Yeah.
They had the movies and then they had the, Out of the Sewers or whatever it's called. Or, the Next Mutation, I think it was called. they had the costumes and the you know what I mean? It kind of reminded me of like if I was a kid and they made a live action adaptation of One Piece, it would look kind of like this, except obviously this looks way better because we got all the green screening that we can do for the ocean and the ships and all that. And it's just wild. It's great, and with Netflix money, they can do that and make it look great. And I think one of the things that Oda did say was like, they've been trying to get me to agree to a live action adaptation for years now, and back then the technology wasn't where I wanted it to say yes to it. I think now we're definitely in an age where we can see some crazy things, and One Piece is a huge immersive world, and now I think we can do it. And so, now is kind of the time, right? Maybe you could say that about other live action adaptations from back in the day. Maybe you could say that about the Fist of the North Star live action adaptation that they did, or the the Double Dragon one, or whatever. But like, I think this is how it would look, and this is how it looked. They did great visually. It looks amazing. As far as the story goes, I agree with a lot of what they did. I have nitpicks and disagreements. Obviously, this is probably the best we're gonna get out of it, aside from those nitpicks, and I'm happy about that. And I'm not saying that I'm settling for less. Obviously, like, I have critiques, and I hope they do change things in the future and do make it better, and I hope they listen to those critiques and whatever, but like, that being said, for me, I think I give it 8 Jolly Rogers out of 10.
Nice.
Let's go.
Yeah.
8's all
Hell
around.
yeah.
It's really fun. It's really fun to watch. I would watch it again, and I think this is going to get more people into One Piece. There's a lot of my friends on Facebook who are like, I've never read or watched it, but I want to watch this live action, and they're going to watch it. And you know what? Maybe it's going to make them go and read the manga, and it's going to be great. So, the Scott Pilgrim, I didn't even know it was a comic until, I saw the trailer for it. When I watched the trailer for it, I was like, oh, apparently it's based on a manga. It's based on a comic. And I went and saw the movie, went to my local comic shop, and they had the first however many volumes. I think I bought the first 2 there. And then I loved it. I was like, man, I love this. I love it. I love it. And now you know what I mean? Like, if that's what it does, and it gets more people into One Piece, then I'm in. I'm into it. I used to be one of those people who made fun of these mid 2000s shonens. I made fun of all of them. You know what I mean? I made fun of Naruto. I made fun of One Piece. I made fun of Bleach. I still make fun of Bleach a little bit. But like,
Man, fuck Bleach.
yeah. Bleach is
More bleach, more like beach.
Bleach, more like Clorox. But like, yeah,
I'm good at beach. I'm good at beach.
yeah, OxyClean. But like, I love it now. I love it. I love One Piece now. It's amazing once you get into it. And honestly, man, if this is only for the manga readers who are caught up, I'm telling you right now, seeing Kobe on the live action and seeing what he did, in these latest chapters, it hits different, man. It's wild. It's wild to see Kobe.
Yes, it does.
That being said, if you guys watched it, let us know what you thought. I personally thought it sucked. No, just kidding. The show sucked. But yeah, no. Let me know what you guys think. As One Piece fans, a lot of people are gonna have a lot of opinions out there, especially in our Discord. I know. That being said, I think we all enjoyed it for what it was, and thought they did great adapting what they adapted. Shout out to Oda. Shout out to Tomorrow Studios and all the actors. You guys did great. I've been Sam, and you should listen every week because we put out new episodes every week. Look out for the Shopify coming out. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. You can buy a t-shirt. Yeah, I'm working on can koozies. Not sure how those are going to work yet. I did find some can.
Ooh, I'm gonna get me
Yeah,
one of
King
those.
that was King's idea, by the way, so shout out King.
I need something to keep my beer cool in the summertime.
In the summertime. Go listen to Anime Plummet while you're at it, okay? After you're done with this, go to Anime Plummet. They just put up their latest episode. Girlfriend. Oh no, they did a retro review of Demon City, Shinjuku, and Wicked City. So yeah, you heard our opinions on that a while ago. Now you can hear the Plummet's opinions on that. I personally like Wicked City. I think it's great. I was really mad at Nick for making us watch that bullshit. But no, Wicked City is Wicked City is good. Demon City, Shinjuku, not so much. Wicked City though is really good. Yeah, you should go listen to the Plummet, dude, and also catch up on their Summer of Girlfriends episodes to get hyped for their Girlfriend Smackdown. King, I'm really glad you came by, and I'm really glad that I share the same kind of shonen taste with King because he's also caught up on Undead Unluck, or almost. Or you are, right?
Like 20 chapters behind. It's so good, Sam.
Oh wait,
I'm
you're
loving
20.
it. Thank you guys so much.
So you
for
saw the?
having me.
Oh my god, dude! I'm not gonna say it.
I know.
I'm not gonna say it.
We're gonna
Save it for the
we'll pod
Undead
about it, but
Unluck podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Yes,
Oh my
exactly.
fucking God,
thank you
bro.
guys for having me. This has been a blast, and I love One Piece, and I have Sam and Manga Club and all y'all to thank for it. It's just the best, man. It's so much fun.
So much fun.
So catch us over on the Plummet, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, dude. And so I've been Sam. That's been Danny. That's been Nick. And that's been King coming all the way down from the Plummet. And we've been the Anime Summit Podcast.